Hey friends, Fuyu here once again, and welcome back to episode 14 of our Touhou Puppet Dance Performance Chart of Dreams playthrough. Last we left off, we took a little stroll up the rest of the mountain and fought our way through Moria's Shrine, through Sanae and then the optional Kanako fight. And we got a pretty nice little reward from beating Kanako in... oh, where'd it go? The Combat Handbook, which increases experience gained by 1.5 times, which is fantastic. And also, you know, we got a little casual item called the Super Power Glove. So now we can break rocks. Only those rocks. You can't break like these or fountains or anything. They're not as cool as like Frog and Chrono Trigger where you can just like slice mountains in half, but you know, we'll take it. So at this point now, we could theoretically make our way back down the mountain to the southwest, but we got a lot of stuff over here. This isn't really a side quest because this is a necessary item later in the game. So, you know, let's just keep going this way. We'll eventually reach our destination. Gensokyo is currently in an incident. We're reinforcing security. Sangusaki would like to battle. And sent out Momiji. Well, what's going to happen when we fight? Crunch. Even without the boot earring, she still does tons of damage. Thankfully, she can't get sturdy yet, so she's not going to be avoiding one-shots for at least a little while longer. Eventually, it'll happen. Expect to see Rainbow over the course of today's video probably reach everybody else or get pretty darn close. Please don't make things too rough on us. I mean, you don't want to attack me. I just talked to you. My Mistia puppet sings me a lullaby during the night. Do you want to hear it? Yokai Akari would like to battle. And crunch. The puppets here are the same at the shrine, if I remember right, so no reason to really... oh duh, yeah, she's dark. That doesn't do much. Relatively. So in this case, let's do Evil Crushing Arrow, which is not only a cool looking skill, but also does lots of damage. Now, it's not type boosted, but since it's barrier crushing, it's still good enough to accomplish our objective, let's say. So we'll be fighting a few chump change enemies for a while. Look at that, only 205. Nice. Easy. Pretend to sleep. Or did you miss you send you or sing you a song? My jaw's in the back of my head. Crave you. This is a type of yokai. Yokai Kaede would like to battle. Except they made it look cute instead of horrifying with like rows and rows of teeth. In this case, it doesn't really matter, we're still gonna crunch. I love those copy fights, so I swear. They aiming to me 3 times in a row. At least it's not like, you know, there is no necessarily magic harp in the game. But there are some pretty weak, normal type puppets that sometimes they get stronger, sometimes they don't. But I think pretty much every puppet in the game has a way to deal damage and kind of self-sustain the fight. Not that necessarily they're all good. Just kidding, this is only a ribbon. Forgive me, okay? Kidoi. One of the small changes, just like to point out, between JP. This would have been like all grass, I think. And this is the, not JP, but the pre-expansion versus the expansion. Ah, I saw you in the newspaper. I don't have any puppets. I'm only interested in Danmaku. Ah, curses, they targeted our one and only weakness. Anything there? I don't think so. Oh, no. However, there is something here. A Chire Sweet Bun. And then there's a Tengu. I can tell you're a master, seeing that you reached a place like this. Here I come. Oh, you recognize my skill, Shohei. Well, if you'd like to battle, I can beat up Tengu. They will not get you anywhere in a battle, but I appreciate the thought. So we're coming up to a cave, looking ahead at the fight, because you can outspeed me, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't do damage. Even if it was barrier crushing, it only did like 15-20. But, looking ahead, This cave's a bit shorter than the next one. Doom puppeteers causing mayhem on the mountain. That's going to be the title of my next article. Or whatever. Freaking paparazzi. You wish you were as cool as I. Aoyame has appeared. You know that wild puppets are getting pretty dang close to 30. And as soon as they start going over 30, then they're going to be style change. Which is where wild puppet fights become a little bit more dangerous, we'll say. Or maybe regaining their danger from earlier in the game. Granted, you're still going to be out leveling them by a good 15-20 levels throughout most of the game. Which is nice, but, for example, yeah, that. You're going to wear down your power points, or skill points for an ability. It doesn't really matter, I can get away with it. But when it really gets annoying is when that skill's built in for Yaname and Momiji, which I've talked about in previous videos. And some of them are, keep in mind, puppets that are really fast can still do, get a hit off or two if you don't have the right puppet in front. And these times we use items in Daimaku play. Whoever controls the item controls the match. Kappa Sekiro would like to battle. Now, is that like a reference to the Touhou game where you're using items to break unbreakable or impossible spell cards? Probably not. That, however, is a bit of annoying. It's going to be lower damage, but I should still be able to one-shot everything. Yeah. Also keep in mind some puppets in this area may or may not have stuff like heavy poison type abilities. Higher priority move. So if you get hit by like, demons miasma skill, all of a sudden your HP is going to drain throughout the entire cave unless you burn an item. Probably will have to spot Rainu out pretty quickly because she's starting to get tapped out on her skill points, but I can go a little bit longer. You're good at using items? Don't make the inventions in your bag cry, alright? I want to use a few items in battle, actually. I think we go east here for a battle. Yep. Phew, I'm more than finished with this manuscript. I'm feeling pretty good, so how about a battle? Tengu Shinobu would like a battle. Yeah, I don't tend to use too many items, but when I do need to, actually. Or when I'm just trying to desperately get experience from KO puppets. Like in the Kanako fight, where one goes down, the other goes down. Things are not going smooth. Yeah. The only way I'd be able to get a one-shot, so I want to make sure I don't give him a chance to get annoying. Especially with Suwako, who has Moody 99% of the time. Get evasion boost times 2, then you're gonna go, gosh. Huh? My finished manuscript is being held by that puppet. Destroyed. No! This is my end! Oh dear, I'm sorry. Sorry for your loss. Speaking of Hina, bad news, I'm not going to give you a chance to screw me over. I'm just going to take my licks and call it a day. Ooh, that has a lot of damage. I guess Flandre isn't going to get too much experience in this fight, or in this mountain. Okay, game. Not to the point yet where I'm going to burn talismans to get through though, but I respect the hustle. Bad place, until Flandre's equal level, I kind of just gotta burn fights with her, which obviously is tough to do because taking damage every fight, but it all kind of adds up. And she is gradually making steps towards catching up to everybody else. Okay, so oh my goodness, they're starting to make me wonder if I should have just burned talismans. Or if I should just go back and go back to the shrine to recover, my goodness. Yeah, we can make it through, no problems. I think I need to head south here. There might be an item or something from the reserves. It's been a while since I've been to this cave. And again, Frenzied Jewelry and its equivalent Overrun are just such good skills for this point in the game. Later on, they become outclassed, but for the type of damage you can do, I have to tread carefully to not come across any puppets. You think it would have been better to just buy some talismans instead? Lord help me. Hooray for Missy Jellies. Yeah, the skill cards for both of those, as soon as you get the inflatable boat, and being able to get those pretty much immediately. You don't even have to go out of your way for it, just literally, that's going to hurt a lot. South and east of the Tengu hideout, for both. Really convenient. Alright, so this is going to be Flounder's last fight. She's not going to be able to keep going unless I take a risk. Well, then I guess I'm going to send Raymond back out and we'll just go from there. Got some good experience. Maybe I'll give the rest of it to Aya once Raymond runs out. Why should not? Go for it, Aya. Get some experience. Leave. Leave. Go Skindo, like to battle. Without yelling. Now, I would love to use shooting arts and just crunch her. I'm just going to use Frenzied Jewelry, because why not? And that does need to increase damage because I'm weak to that. But the news is, I just crunched it right. Okay, Aya's almost got a level. That's nice. Well, while I'm saying you should leave, there's really no reason to be here at all. Wait, why don't I seem to remember? Oh no, I'm just nuts. I was thinking for some reason it was 25 skill points. I was like, wait, why is something not matching up in my head? Alright, so another quick fight. We'll just shooting arts and... Again, we're so strong at this point that Aya one-shots even with a base 25 power skill. So we got a couple different ways, so I think head south. What's up, Tengu? Puppet used by the fastest is just as fast. Tengu 10 like to battle. Well, Aya is pretty darn fast. But is she faster than Aya? Yes, because increased priority is fun. But it does not save you. I guess you got Void, or not Void, Braid, yep. Good job, good job. And there's another increased priority move, which will do increased damage because, again, weak to win, because they're fighting typing. Alrighty, let's see. Sigh, how sad. Okay. Okay, it's south. Remember where I had. Oh, nope. We chose wrong. I was doing pretty good on memory. Oh, Hina Divine Retribution's gonna hurt like a son of a gun. Well, either way. Oh, wait, it doesn't hurt me because it's a low damage move. Ah! Either that or she had the floating one. Deadly Secrets. Deadly Secrets is a pretty good accessory if I remember right. For certain puppets. So what Deadly Secrets does is deals more damage if it pierces the barrier. So for a puppet that only has 1 or 2 type moves that they use, it's okay. For puppets such as, if I remember right, Extra Satori and other ones that rely on having huge type change abilities and type coverage, it can be really, really nice. So in this case, I'm not going to use any of my puppets this playthrough probably, but for some playthroughs it's very, very good. Again, Extra Satori has an ability that lets her change her typing every time she uses an ability. So if she uses a fire type move, she becomes fire typing. All of a sudden, you got increased fire damage because, of course, the type coverage. In this case, fire hitting like a nature type or something. But also, you get increased damage because you're barrier piercing, and so it's pretty strong. Wait, I just said the same thing twice. I'm a dummy. So barrier piercing or type coverage in that case, but also because she becomes fire, so fire type, using a fire type move is boosted. Pretty nice stuff. Normally you get spooked by a vengeful spirit. You gotta use force against someone who isn't. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Evil Spirit Yohei would like to battle. Oh, the spray is previous attack. Tojiko, hopefully you don't crunch me. I got here, I'm about to get paralyzed. Yep. You're shocked. Well done, you got me. Just a joke, I wouldn't try to take your life. Sure you wouldn't. I believe you, wink wink. Hi person. Wild Hina has appeared. Oh, I'm about to take more damage, aren't I? I'm gonna chance it. I'm gonna regret that right away because it's not gonna kill her. Oh wait, that's right. She's dark type, isn't she? Skeleton poison. Other than that, or no, Netherin poison. Nice. You lost? Really? Me too. It's fun when you get lost. There's always something new no matter where you go. Indeed. Always nice to explore because then you find treasure, like bronze mirror, which is not that useful. When the opposing puppet's stats have changed, the puppet holding this will reflect the same stat changes. So if something increases its speed, increase speed. But it's only one time only, so you at most get one boost out of it. Not that it's bad, mind you. It's got its uses. It's just not that great. Oh, okay, whatever. That does not hurt me in this instance. Well, in short, there's far better abilities or items you can put on instead of bronze mirror. Even if it was a permanent, like you could use it after every stat change, at that point, it might be worth it if you're fighting somebody that relies on that sort of thing, but let's be honest. Yep, false courage, I knew it. There's not that many enemies in the game where they rely on that. There's only a few boss fights where it can get really scary. One of which being, of course, the fight earlier in the game against Miko. That just relies on her raising her speed and her special attack. Zoom, zoom, zooming. But bronze mirror would only get one use out of it, and then at that point, oh well, but I just waste that item slot for instead of more damage. Just my opinion. People who are better at... No, she's not going to do it, is he? Yep. It's not going to KO. Oh, good, it did. I was going to be upset if it didn't. I'll take it. Oh. Good evening. How frightening. Ghost Tagaka. Yeah. Tagataka. Like to battle. Takana. Who is another and sound type puppet. Very interesting typing. Another is bad against light, so we'll just crush evil. Good night. Reimu is steadily catching up. Your strength is astonishing. A little wavy thing, I'm guessing. Let's head south. Oh. Cute. Hi. Oh, hi. Greetings should always be loud. That's what Kyoko told me. Okay. We want to shout too loud, but interesting person. And today's my 2 points of damage. Oh, 7 points. My goodness. I'm ruined. Yeah, some Rainbow out pretty soon because she only has 2 Ruries left. Well, this actually might not be a bad time to test it out after this fight. I wonder. Yeah, screw it. Let's test it. She's got enough power points now so that she can afford to do this. Be fun. So, right now, I'll probably have to forget Jewelry to learn Jewelry. Now, question of the day, does that actually do like I thought it did? Yes. Okay, so, as you can see, friends, make sure I have everything in the same spot. Good. That is how I can get around the moves running out, which makes it pretty darn broken. Give me your body. Evil Spirit Nobutada would like to battle. Just nice. Like things like that where you feel like you have to go back just to recover power points feels bad. Obviously, like it happens such like in Pokemon, but... Oh wait, I'm dumb. That's Illusion. Illusion electric. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. A little bit. Oh, well, illusion against illusion works. I'll let you expect. Pretty good. Again, that skill is not very good yet. Eventually, it'll be a base 120 power because all enemies later in the game have items. So you knock their item away, it doubles in damage, goes from 65. Is it 60 to 120 or 65 to 130? 1 second. Puppet body small. I think it's 60. No, 65. I was right. It becomes 130 damage. No. It's 50% stronger. I'm a goof. So never mind. There's still better skills later on, but it's a really good one nonetheless later on because it knocks your item away. Annoying stuff like black chokers that basically give you a sturdy status where you can't be one shot, etc., etc., etc. And let's keep on chugging along. Grab the item, which I don't think was anything good if memory serves. Onyx hairpin. Sounds like a void or not a void. I got a void. One of those hairpins. Oh, it's sound. That's right. I would have thought sound would have been like yellowish color, but sound skills are boosted, which can be useful. Kinda. But if you're only going to be using one skill type and you know that, then hey, go for it. And you're going to use, yep. Oh, fun. I'm pretty sure multi-hits just blow right through that. Oh, jeez, Moni, you're trolling me now. Might as well burn a fire, just doesn't really matter. Burn. Okay. Flandre learned an ability. I don't know what Flandre learned, but that makes me want to take a look. Flagration. Power is higher if the user's cost is higher than the foe's. That's pretty darn good. I'm going to take it. Granite Claw has uses. Light Javelin. Oh man, there's a lot of good abilities here. This is a tough decision. I'm going to get rid of Panic Claw because this is just straight better right now. So basically what it does, I think she has 115 base. Give me a second, I'll search. She's Flandre. Flandre is base 120 power, or cost. Okay, that's what it was. So in this case, effectively what that means is that she's the highest cost in the game in terms of puppets. We've kind of discussed this in previous playthrough where each enemy has or puppet in the game has a particular cost tier associated with it. From like 80 or 70 to 120, with higher costs coming with higher stat points assigned out of a total like 560 versus like 490 or something. There's a few puppets breaking that mold, but for the most part, those higher costs usually just mean the puppet has a better stat base. Now sometimes that doesn't make a difference, like the stats can be assigned to something that'll be effectively worthless, like for example if Yuma was given, for this form, was given like, 20 higher points in focus attack. It still would make a difference, make it good to use, but that's where the extra points would be assigned to, for example. I mean, it depends. Sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't, but generally they're considered quote-unquote better tier. So Win, won't you give me your puppet? Oh, that is what it is. Puppet Front Liberation Lorraine would like to battle, and is about to get thoroughly crushed. So ignoring this. So conflagration, if your puppet has a higher tier, it does more, or higher cost, it does more damage. I believe it's 120 if you got the maximum difference, and goes up from there. So for toss off ability at this point in the game, it's not too bad. It could be good, could be 80, could be 65, 75 base. Well, if you're that attached to it, why don't you release it? Nah, I'm good. Welcome to the end of the cave and a talisman. So, go down here. Nothing neat, I don't think. Nope. A Kappa. How about getting a Kappa's custom-made missiles? Well, sure. Kappa Chico like the battle. Starting me with a good time, why don't you? Who doesn't like shooting off missiles? Rika does turn into a pretty cool form later on, if I remember. aren't you, though? Sorry, Rika. So, a couple puppets here, which of note. You still have Ai, you still have Momiji, you still have Hatate. But we're not responsible for any damages caused by the missiles. Yeah, of course. Here's your first one right here. Canvas's hairpin is, oh, what is it? I'm guessing, I think that's poison. Is here poison or, no, it's poison, okay. But you also have Tenchi and Kasen. Tenchi's pretty cool, she's an earth type, go figure. She's really strong. One playthrough I used her, she kind of crunched house. Not necessarily super standout in the form I used, but she was pretty strong, very dependable. Normal Kasen is fighting / illusions based, and she's pretty fun as well. They're both rare compared to the others. Again, rarity sometimes means they're better, sometimes just means they're harder to find. For example, Aya is probably the strongest overall of the bunch, just straight up. But she's pretty easy to find. Momiji asked us to withdraw all the puppets. I don't think we can do it though, because there's so many of them. Let's go! Giant Toad's Pond ahead. Easy to get lost. You've been warned. And unfortunately, can't go. But eventually that fog will clear a little bit, and we can dive in. Way later in the game. Way later. And now just remember it's a thing. And we'll come back to it like 10 hours later? 15 hours? We'll see. Mountains are nice. Nothing can beat the feeling of climbing all the way to the top. 12 more to go. Here I come. Let's save quick. It's been a while since we saved. Oh hey, are you not afraid of me? Really? Oh, would you like some mochi? I'll take some mochi. I'd love to. Nope. There's a trap. Uh-oh. Puppet Liberation Front. We saw a hint earlier. So, is the monitoring going well? The underground geyser center is nearby, so don't let your guard down. Got it. If we have to use force, so be it. You become so leader-like. So, fans of the series know who this is. Good old Yuka. There's a hint earlier on, so here's your reveal. I shall make my departure soon, yes? I keep telling you, I'm not leader-like, I am a leader. Look, we still have a lot to do. You fairies, quit playing around here. You're so easy to manage. You're being completely manipulated. Or maybe. Okay, wait, how you doing, Raymond? Yeah, she... Getting there. Hello, human. I'm definitely one of your fellow humans, really. Tail? What are you talking about? I don't see a tail. There's no tail here. If you ever feel tired, make sure to stop at a rest area to gather up your energy. Contrary to what you think, not a puppet in one of the pots. Just a revive item. In fact, forget if this is a place where you can start buying revive items. If so, I'm going to stock up to heck. There are more yokai than humans in this rest area. So sweet, as expected for an after-work treat. The upside-down castle in the sky is glowing today. Want to go? Well, I can't take you unless I grow wings. Mountain looks beautiful in autumn. Waterfalls and falling leaves just make my heart melt. Wait, I grow wings? Oh, I thought you had wings. You're a Tingu, aren't you? Oh, whatever. Quick heal up. And survey says, do we get revive items? No, we do not. But we have plenty of healing items, so not a big deal. However, traveling merchant always has something interesting. Up to 300 steps, so we'll eventually grab a whole bunch of those and we'll call it a day. Anti-charms do basically what's on the tin. One damage reduction. It's pretty cool. It's unless you only have one weakness on your puppet though, it's kind of silly because then they could strike a different weakness. But it can work in particular circumstances, so you know, don't knock it. Apart from that, we're selling oath threads now, so that's pretty cool. But in this case, I don't need to catch anything else, so. So items I'd like to sell. Let's see. I don't think I have too much. Actually, yes I do. 255 is the maximum, so your magical fragments, I sold some earlier. I'm gonna sell good. I'll sell 90 of them. That we got monies. Don't want to let it go anything near 200, because then I'll forget and we'll max out. But it's not too bad. Sure, we'll sell some gold dust, whatever. Doesn't matter. Now we have money again. Yay! Come on, Rainbow, we're rich. Is that what your goal is? Nearby deserted village belongs to us. We are the Puppet Liberation Front. You cannot pass through here. Are you sure? Yes, they're sure. So, but thou must, Booyah. Thou must head that way. And unfortunately, there's not actually anything down there, so we'll just follow the river. Until we reach a brand new area. Mayohia. Pretty cool area that's in the game. First thing to note. Puppet Liberation Front. This place, hey, this place belongs to the Liberation Front now. Hand it over. Chen, I have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, this place doesn't belong to me. Oh yeah, we get to have some fun with the Liberation Front for a bit, looks like. Since that's the only way you can go. Also, unfortunately, there's nothing that way. You think there would be. Once in a while, they just have these little side paths that don't lead to anything. Though there are a few where it goes on forever, but it does actually end up somewhere. Oh, normal Chen. Goodbye, Chen. Unless you have a speed booster, which you didn't use it. So, if you took a wild guess and you're familiar with the Touhou games, if you can guess what puppets you can find here, Chen obviously being one out of the 3. If I told you there were 3, would you be able to get it right? So, if you said Chen, Ran, and Yukari, you would be correct. Those are the 3 that you find here. Chen, of course, we've encountered before, is pure wind. I don't think there's anything. There is one over here. Akure Shinshu, a good revive item. Normal Ran is Illusion and Fire. She's rare. And Yukari, if you find her, congratulations. She's the jackpot. She is Illusion Void, and she's very rare. First time you can get those 2 puppets here in the game. Unless, of course, you picked that as your chosen puppet. Pretty good overall. Yukari is very interesting. She's one of the few that has a special form that breaks the mold. Has up to 630 base stats, but then doesn't really use most of them until she gets below half health, and then she becomes godly. Or no, that's a different one. I think hers is a number of turns go by, and then she eventually says, you don't screw, I'm gonna go all out. Either way, it's an interesting design, but not the strongest. So, Akure Shinshu, again, checking all the things here can sometimes be nice. Puppet just jumped out. Exciting, but it's only Chen. One of the puppets that are higher than 30 that are still normal type. So we'll beat them up and keep going. Alright. And rainbow candy to wrap things up. Perfect. Meow. I don't know what MG means. Mega good? Alright, let's go. Dang it, an intruder. Great timing. Now's my chance to escape. You're faster than her anyway. Ah, it's your fault they escaped. I'll beat you and chase after them. Now, come and battle me. Alright. Puppet Liberation Front Yurui would like to battle. Sent out Tokiko. Not gonna beat me without those types, but good luck. Good night. Yeah, so this area isn't too scary. We just basically blow through everything. I'm gonna be a real boss within research, just basically crunching a puppet or 2 here and there, and crunching a few Liberation Front members. The strong ones have something else to do right now. Oh wow, you don't have to get so serious. Fine, you go chase after that other girl then. Why am I chasing after her? Aren't you the ones trying to capture her? Yukari? Nope. And one of the first areas where I didn't encounter the rarest puppet at once. I'm happy that I had such good luck earlier in the playthrough though, because again, Getting Raimi on my first attempt, getting Meme on my first attempt, getting Flandre. No, she wasn't the first one, but she was pretty early on, considering. The person that's going to catch that cat is me. Puppet Liberation Front Felicia would like to battle. Also has one of my favorite illustrations in the game. Yes, Kogasa, you do your thing. I'll just continue to stand Frenzy Jewelry in front of you. That's the one possible bad part about the game is that it's so easy, especially with the side areas that they added in, to become overpowered compared to the normal enemies. It wasn't the cat. I was gnawed by a human instead. The one thing to note is, again, another contract throw. I don't think there's anything here. Nope. The game tries to... I know why they do it, though. They're trying to accommodate for whether or not you do any side questing. They don't want to make it to the point where you're expected to, and then all of a sudden things are 15 levels higher than you. But, you know, one of those where they're trying to account for it to a degree. So the boss fights end up becoming, at least until after you beat the main game, pretty much, you know, if you're under leveled, they become like, oh god, what am I doing here? And if you've been doing all the side questing like we have, then yeah, it's pretty equivalent as you've seen, you know. Especially the optional ones, they've not held anything back, and I've been right at level, like with Kanako, where it was 48 versus 48, so... Again, as I've been saying this playthrough, we're over-leveled, but not really for what we're doing. Which is pretty interesting game design, I'm not against it. I wish the minimum puppets at this point would be closer to 40, but it is what it is. And again, eventually this will become moot, because later in the game things will be pretty much... I mean, not at level, but closer. Besides, there's still plenty of challenging things to fight in this game. Charging stun, if memory serves right? Hi, kitty. Be up another 10, then we'll take a look. Okay, good night, Chen. And I got another level. Okay, so charging stun. That was what, 35? Yeah, right there. So it does 55 base power, has a 5% chance to miss. Well, effectively. And -6 priority, so it's pretty much always going to go last unless something has an equivalent -6 priority or somehow lower. Damage is low at this point in the game, and the accuracy is now 100, so it's... No, I'm not sure about that really. It's so interesting, but there's not too many instances where I would say, you know, forcing an enemy to switch out with that much of a damage sacrifice is worth it. Here's the Liberation Front hideout, Higa branch under construction. Now, if a puppet is like trying to boost its stats and you just send that out and you manage to get it off, awesome. You win the battle at that point. But close to it. Those are situations where, yes, it is heck of worth it. But it's rare that that comes up. There's only a handful of fights, like I mentioned before, which rely on stat boosting to overcome you. And most of those, you don't really want to spend time to try to counter that. If you do, they can just easily change off their strategy if you try and swap that in to take care of it. You just one-shot you. Or effectively one-shot you when you're at, you know, 20% of your HP left, and then you're getting to a heal spam where they continue to spam their ability, or you just give up and your puppet go down. And then they go back to doing what they're going to do anyway. If that makes sense. So, we are chugging right along. This hideout will be destroyed before we even finish building it. Sounds about right. Hey there, friend. You're a nuisance. You will have to battle with me. Puppet Liberation Front Renly would like to battle. Well... forcing me to battle you is exciting and all, but I'm just going to keep spamming. This is probably one of the slowest parts of the game for enemy fights. I mean, granted, you just had the Moria Shrine fight, which is heck of awesome. I mean, and then you had, before then, you had a couple nice battles against like the Three Fairies of Light and... Oh, sorry, I didn't even read that one. But they retreated. And then, of course, you had the Reimu fight, which, oh goodness, that's one of the toughest fights in the game for at its point. Especially if you haven't been side questing. Yeah, so... Oh, that's right, that's what I was checking. I was going to be... seeing what I got. Flower of Hell. 30% chance to break the foe's stance, preventing them from avoiding the next attack. Oop. You know what? I'll take that, because right now Say Almost Fire isn't doing anything. And it's probably not going to do anything for quite a while. So, at this point, might as well go for it. Good day. Don't run from me, kitty. I want to talk to you. So... Meow. Meow meow. Obtained Rosary, which you may be thinking this is some sort of puppet reducing items. Actually no, it's not like the Talisman or the others. It's a little bit different. It actually helps the puppet holding it to dodge enemy skills. Only a little bit though. It's minute, but if you're building an evasion-based puppet, this is probably best in slot. If you're not building an evasion-based puppet, probably avoid it. And it doesn't protect you against guaranteed hits such as Time Screw, which come up later in the game more often than you expect. Ah, you're the human from before. Oh, you're that human Miss Yukari was talking about. You really beat up those fairies. Thanks a lot. Right. Miss Yukari wanted you to hold on to this. Obtained Gap Map. And we'll go over what that is in a second. That is a gap map. If you use it, you can warp back to places you've been to in an instant. This tool is supposed to be a key item, so be sure not to forget about it. Is what Miss Yukari said. Really? You want me to send Miss Yukari your thanks? Well, I have some things I gotta finish up, so I'll be inside. Fight me. That's a gap map. That allows you to go instantly to places you've been to before. Yep. Fortunately, fighting is not on the menu. However, rainbow candies are. Hooray! I don't think there's any more fights or anything else here. But there are kitties. Meow and meow. There, we've tagged all the cats for no reason. So, as we're getting ready to end the playthrough for today, let me show off my new fancy tool. And they said you can go anywhere. They were kidding. This is a built-in fly. Effectively. So if I want to go to Adiante, I could teleport right there. Now they say teleport to different places. I can go to the Divine Spirit Mausoleum. I cannot go to wherever these places are. Why is that? Well, unfortunately, there's reasons. Those will open up later. As you can see, some of these places are tagged, like we've been to. Ice Cavern we haven't, for good reason. I could go right to the Kappa's hideout, or I could go right to Marissa's house, like we've seen before. Actually, like I showed you on picture before. See Marissa's house in all its glory. And we'll just quick pop in here for some healing. Interestingly enough, not the quickest place for healing. That still takes you right to Clarindo, which you just go right over here. Oop. Boom. The fastest healing in the game. We'll be abusing that quite a lot. And by quite a lot, I mean a lot. For now, though, we're back to Yokai Mountain, and we'll be ready for our next adventure next time. For now, though, friends, so what we're looking up to next, then, is... Well, we could effectively skip the rest of this path we're down, but there's some items and some other stuff we want to find, some areas to explore. So, a lot of items there to go over, which I will be showing off the side questing at this point, so look forward to that. There's interesting enemies to fight on the way down. There's some side quests we'll be going right into that have some unique places and enemies. So, be ready for that. And eventually, we're going to be exploring around and figure out where in the heck the game wants us to go. Because if you remember what Sanae said at the end of the last playthrough, why don't you go ahead and explore around and, see what to do, because I don't know what you need to do. And that is actually a good hint, because she just gave you the superpowered glove. And if you remember back, there's some places that we've encountered that have rocks. Might be a hint of where to go. So, I don't think we're going to get there next time necessarily, but we'll have to see. Regardless, we're going to be doing some fun side questing and then some exploring, and we'll see just what we can find, what trouble we can get ourselves into, which I'm sure we can get ourselves into plenty. For now though, friends, thank you so much as always. Until next time, you all take care, and I look forward to seeing you once again on the next adventure.